Howdy gang, Kevin here. I want to give you all a preview of some things that are going to be coming up in videos. And get a video up for the day. I'm trying to get videos up, but to be honest with you, I don't want to bore y'all. So, no promises either way. Cigar and whiskey talks are still probably always going to happen on Monday or Tuesday. So, unless you see Cigar and Whiskey Talk and that's the only thing that interests you, don't click through on this stuff. Getting some stuff in boxes. And the first thing is, this is from the CB Museum and Memorial Park in Davisville, Rhode Island. And if you guys don't know about it, there are 3 CB museums. One in Point Hueneme, California, one in Gulfport, Mississippi, and one in Davisville, Rhode Island. Davisville, Rhode Island is the original home of the bees. That's where the CBs were headquartered out of when they were formed in World War II. And there's not a base there anymore. Those bases have been closed. It was all a whole bunch of little camps and things that the CBs worked out of there. But Davisville, Rhode Island was the original home of the bees. And case in point, Davisville is the only museum that's not an official U.S. Navy museum. It's staffed by volunteers, and most of the volunteers have some connection to the bees. They're either old retired bees or old former bees. There's no such thing as a former bee like a former Marine. There's no such thing as a former Marine. No such thing as a former bee. But I had to get a new hat because, as you can see, my puppy's got a hold of this one and chewed it up. So, no, the puppies are not dead. Puppies should be dead, but they're not dead. So, let's get that going on. So, if you're going to support a CB museum, I would urge you to support Davisville, Rhode Island, CB Museum and Memorial Park, because, like I said, it's actually taken care of by bees. There have been some run-ins over the years over the managers of the other 2 CB museum. The biggest one being in Point Hueneme, California, which I don't understand that. Because, yeah, CB's actually started on the East Coast long before they went to the West Coast. Yeah, there we go. Much better. Poor baby. Anyhow, been getting Amazon packages all week, so, and last week, for stuff I'm actually redoing my IFAC a little bit and my everyday carry stuff for classes. All of the instructors, this front pouch on the Scout Pack is really reserved for mostly first aid kit for students when they get hurt, things like bleed stop things, gauze and pads and band-aids, and also hydration tabs and things like that. We all carry pretty much the same stuff in the front pouch, a tourniquet and all those kind of things. And that's so everybody's carrying the same thing, carrying it the same way. My normal Pathfinder IFAC normally rides on this side, opposite of my humidor. That'll hold 4 cigars. But anyhow, so I got some work to do on that. And in that vent, going to be some new stuff going in and going in my pockets and doing all the kind of things. I always carry a tourniquet. And before you start on tourniquets, that cheap Chinese tourniquet. Nobody cares. It's the only ones that really care about it not being a $40 tourniquet are the folks selling $40 tourniquets. So, what is going on here? This is a regular rat tourniquet, and a lot of people don't like rat tourniquets because they're skinny and all that kind of stuff. That's just because you don't understand how they work, or you've seen them applied wrong. And before we say this, I am not a medical professional. Now, let's see what else we got here. I'm upgrading to a set of Madison shears, and that will ride with my new tourniquet holder rig that I've got, so I can put a tourniquet on the outside of my pack and not be just right in here. But there's still going to be a tourniquet in there. The biggest thing we got going on at the school as far as people getting wounded are always mechanical injuries, heat-related issues, and leaking. Get a lot of people that bleed. I don't grow calendula, so I'm getting ready to do some calendula research. So I had to order dried calendula. And this came from Baker out of Miami, Florida, which is not really out of Miami, Florida. Most of their stuff comes from overseas. I'm sure if I read on here, this calendula actually came from Egypt. What else have I got in here? These are mini rats. So they're good for sticking in a pocket or someplace like that. And yes, once again, they're a rat tourniquet. Rats style tourniquet. Which means they're skinny. 2 TQs. And I don't know where these are made. I don't care where they're made. It's funny, every time you show a tourniquet on here, everybody goes, I'm not trusting my life to a cheap Chinese tourniquet. Blah, 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 blah. Well, here's 2 things I want you to know. We tested a bunch of tourniquets during a wilderness first aid and first responder class over at the school. And we didn't test them on purpose. We were actually working on building an apparatus to put tourniquets on to do a simulated bleed stop. And in testing this thing to see if we could actually get a tourniquet on there and get it in a situation where it would stop the bleed and all that, we actually broke 3 out of the 4 tourniquets we were playing with. And the reason is because we way over tighten them, more tighter than you would ever put them on a human. Okay, but I'll tell you, out of the 4 tourniquets that broke, the El Cheapo $9.99 one from Amazon was not the one. Was the one who didn't break. So we had a really nice tourniquet. I don't remember who the manufacturer was, but it was a high dollar tourniquet. It had an aluminum. What's it? You know, the turny thing. It was aluminum, and that actually cut the strap that it's attached to the tourniquet with, and so it's no longer it's windlass. So it was no longer a windlass. We had one with like ABS windlass on it, and that actually the Velcro let loose the first time, and then the second time when we started turning it, the windlass just basically bent in half and then snapped. The third one was a softer style windlass, plastic, and it just kind of bent in half. So, and the El Cheapo $9.99 Amazon one was the one that didn't break at all. So, and something else I want you to know about tourniquets: the largest military in the world probably uses Chinese manufactured tourniquets. I'm just guessing, since it's China. Anyhow, I'm not saying there's anything bad against a $40 tourniquet. Most law enforcement and things like that use North American Rescues and things like that, and it's good. But you know why? Because the department's paying for it. It's a tourniquet. And advise me, if you're ever in front of me bleeding out with an arterial bleed, and I have 2 tourniquets, let me know to go get a high dollar one, because you don't want me to put a cheaper tourniquet on you. Inexpensive. I've never had one fail, and we've been rough on them because of workmanship. We've had weird failures like that, ripping out the strap and all those kind of things. What else do we got here? Can't get the perforation to perforate. What do we got here? This is a full TQ kit mount with a set of shears, and what else is in here? A pen, a couple of patches. I don't know why I need the patches with this, but that's what it is, tourniquet holder. You'll see that, where it's going to go. What else? Uno mas. No, that's not from this. There we go. This looks like it's something. What's this? Oh, the original Ouch Pouch patch. We'll put that on there and get rid of the Black Rifle Coffee one on. That's where it's on my day-to-day Ouch Pouch. In case you want to see it before I put it on. Now, if I can get this up high enough, or I can put that on there and my Black Rifle Coffee, I'd be happy. But the Black Rifle Coffee may not fit on there anymore. Yeah, it'll go. Ain't that purty? And I think that might be it. What do we got there? What do we got in here? What do we got there? Nothing. All right. That's it. That's what you're going to see in the next few videos to come. It's not really cold enough in my shed today to be wearing this, but I'm disappointed that I'm not at the school this weekend wearing it, so I'm wearing it now. If you got any questions or anything in particular you would like to see about that, in addition to the upgrades I'm doing to my everyday first aid kit, like I said, we carry first aid kits for a different purpose at the school than a lot of people would carry them in the woods, because we have a lot of students and a lot of folks who cut themselves and scratch themselves on things and get dehydrated and get heat injuries and those kind of things. So our everyday carry stuff in the first aid kits is going to be a little bit different than a lot of folks, because we're tending to the needs of students. And like I said, I am not a medical professional. We have medical professionals who work at the school. Kyle's former EMT. He's not a day-to-day EMT anymore. Vaskin's a paramedic. But he's up the ladder a little bit, so he's not I don't know if he's actually still a paramedic or not. But he is a paramedic. So, that's really about all I got going on. So, see y'all in the woods. I'm going to go in the house and eat a hamburger. Talk to y'all later. Bye.